Okay, I'm gonna start recording now.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you guys are finding what sheet of 10, and let me start answering. Yeah.
Miss, are we supposed to put 10 where the N is for number 2?
Yes. Mhm. Okay, those of you I respond back correct to you. Can you guys try doing number 3? Okay. So I'm gonna go over this answer right now, and if you guys have number 3's answer ready, feel free to type it in the box so I can confirm it in a little bit. I think for the rest of the answers, 2 through 6, they're all gonna be in decimals. Okay, and then it says rounded to the nearest thousand. So that means you want 3 numbers after the decimals. Okay, I'm gonna do 200 times 1/2, raise it to the 10 minus 1, which is 9, right? Let me show you in the calculator. 200 times 1/2, oops, and raise it to 9. Okay, 0.391 in this case, because we want to round our answer. So 0.391. And okay, let's look at number, I don't think you guys have any problem like substituting, but I think we might need help going over what the pattern is together. So I can do that with you guys so you have an idea, what to put in that parentheses right there. So from the first number, it seems like the first number is always going to be 1, and then it goes to 1.25. So how do we multiply by 1 to get to 1.25? We just multiplied 1.25. And you want to double check You want to double check if I multiply 1.25 to 1.25, do I get 1.563? Do we?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Oh, because they round it, that's why. So yeah, so this number right here, in our case, I would highlight it as yellow. Okay, and pretty obvious that my first number is just 1. And then number 4, the number would be 0.8. And if I multiply 0.8 to 0.8, we do get 0.64. Okay. So we're good there. Okay, number 5. Let me have you guys answer in the chat for me. What would be your, you don't need to tell me the G sub 1. Like you don't have to tell me the first term. What's the pattern? Oops. Tell me what's the pattern to number 5. And if you got it, you're good to go. I mean, well, you're good for this page. Okay, very good. So while you're waiting for me to answer, students, please work on this page. And if there's any answer you want me to confirm, you can just type the question number and then I will answer it. I'll tell you whether you get it right or wrong. Okay.
Stop. Goldie, stop. Stop. Ow.
Okay, thank you for those of you who answered. Yes, it is multiplied by 2.
Wow.
Um, okay, sorry. Let me see. And then maybe I'll just write down one of the answers and then you guys can confirm later. So number 4, your answer is 0.134. I don't think you need the rest of my answers. You're fine. Number 6, we already did that the other day. Or not the other day, sorry, I just did it in the video. So if you want like a detailed explanation, you can go back to the video and listen to this. I'm gonna go on to the next page. This next page, I did number 1 for you in the video, but this is actually pretty easy. But first off, I want to tell you guys this n minus 1 actually go to the exponents. Okay, so it actually looks like this. Okay, equals to a sub n. And all you're doing for this whole page, you have to first off rewrite the exponential function, which looks like this. It's exactly the same thing, except instead of writing a sub n, you're writing f of n. Okay, so let me do it to number 2. We start off writing f of n, and everything else will stay the same. Okay, but what you're going to do next in terms of evaluating, we have to substitute what they asked you, which is 3 in this case. Put 3 in n, so it'll be 3 minus 1, and it's 8 to that power. Okay, and then figure it out in your scientific calculator. Okay, so go ahead and do this one for me. And write it in the chat so I know you guys understand what's going on. Okay, so I see some problems here. let me go over this real quick. Some of you guys are doing it in the wrong order. Remember, we always want to do exponents first. So that gives you 8 squared. Okay, and then whatever 8 squared is, that's 64, right? And then we times 0.3. Because according to PEMDAS, remember, exponents comes first before multiplication. And then from there, you would have gotten 19.2. Okay. Hope that answers some of your questions. Always remember to do the exponents first. And that's why I like this calculator, because how you're typing it in is exactly like how my question's like. So they would do the exponents for you first before you multiply. Okay, let's just confirm our answer. This one, and that's an 8. That's a 2 right here, 19.2. All right. If you would like me to do one more question, you can type it in the chat. I don't see anything in the next 10 seconds. I'm gonna move on. Okay, so I'll do one more question. So let's do number 6. A sub n equals to 100 times 0.5 to the n minus 1. That's how the question's supposed to look like. And then we put in our f of n to rewrite it. And now I'm gonna put up here, I'm gonna put a 5 because that's what they want. Okay, so really if you put it in the calculator, it would be 100 times 0.5 to the 4th power. And we just need to type that in. 100 times 0.5 to the 4th power. Yes, it's 6.25. Okay. Very good. So you guys have like 3 questions left to do on this page. And that would be Tuesday's homework, which is today. Okay. Since I have about like 20 minutes, I would use like 10 minutes to go over Thursday's homework. Actually, I already have a video for that, but since you guys are in here, let's just go over a question. Go back to my notes first. And I promise you, it's gonna be really similar. Okay, so Thursday's homework, we're talking about half-life. Half-life is you're going from like, let me add an extra page to this. So half-life is if you have originally like a full circle, right? After a certain amount of time, they would tell you how much half-life is. Like let's say in the question that I have here, they would say like, oh, after 5 hours, here, after 5 hours, a half-life is like performed. So let's say if you, I don't know if you guys drink energy drinks, but then like it gives you caffeine inside. So like, let's say this example that I have, after this person drank a 12-ounce can of energy drink, it has 80 milligrams of caffeine inside his body, inside his system. But then the caffeine would stay inside his system with a half-life of 5 hours. So that means every 5 hours, that caffeine will go away, half. Okay, so 5 hours, like first hour is actually after 5 hours, the caffeine, actually, sorry, this one's 0, is at the beginning. He still had 80, just the full circle. And then after 5 hours, he only has half of this left, which is 40. Okay, and then after another 5 hour, we're going to take half of that, which is 20. So we're going to do half of this. And then after another 5 hours, there's going to be half and half and half like that. Okay, and there's a formula for that, which is down here at the bottom. Half-life formula is A equals A sub 0. So this is still our, what we did earlier in green. This is your original amount. Okay, and then since we are dealing with half-life, this number inside the parentheses is always going to be 1/2. And then it's the time and half-life that's up here. Okay, so since they tell us the half-life is 5, 5 is always going to be at the bottom in this question. And then the t is whatever that you're substituting in there. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys one of the homework questions. Oops, not this page, this one. And I did number 3 for you, but I can do another one for you. So we can look at number 1. So if you guys can like just, start a new section on your line paper and just do number 1 with me. And I'll write the formula up at the top. A equals A sub 0 times 1/2 to the T over H. H is half-life. T is the time. And A sub 0 is the initial amount. Okay, so for number 1, the original amount is 120, right? So I would write A of T equals to 120, because that's the original, times the 1/2 is always going to be there because it's half-life. And then how many hours does it take to perform a half-life? Does anyone know in this question? How many hours does it take to do half? You can see it from the first line. We start at 0 hour, and then after 2 hours, 120 became 60. It became half of it. And then after another 2 hours, it did half of 60. Okay, so yes, it would be 2. So half-life would be 2 up here, and then I'll just put T. So please write this down. This is the formula. And then if I have to substitute 20 in my equation, let me just do all of this first. I'm going to put 20 up at the T. Okay, and then I'm going to do this step first. 20 divided by 2 is 10, right? That's telling me that like this number right here, like 20 divided by 2 is telling me which cycle I'm on. So that's 10. Okay, and then the rest, you want to put it in the calculator. 120 times 1/2 to the 10th power. And then why don't you guys put it in and then just write down your answer and type it in the chat so I know you know what's going on. It should be a decimal answer. Okay, I'm getting quite a lot of answers. Okay, very good. I like a lot of answers. So you should have gotten 0.117. Okay. Is there any other questions? So I already did number 1 and number 3. Any other questions that you guys want me to go over? If not, I am going to do honors homework from week 6. And if you guys would like to stay, you're welcome to stay. If not, you can kind of take a break. I know you have another, some of you guys have another meeting with Narowski in an hour. I mean, in 10 minutes. Any general questions for me? No? And this lesson will be recorded. So if you guys want to go back and look at, slowly how we did the question, you are welcome to rewatch this.
Miss, so we can leave, right?
Yeah. If you don't have any more questions, bye. You may leave. Okay, so Adriana, I'm gonna go over the week 6 homework. Let me see this page. Okay, Adriana, 1 through 4, is there any questions that you want me to go over with you?
Yeah, for number 4, you got no solution, but I got x equals 8.
Yeah, so x is equal to 8, but did you substitute it back in to see?
Yeah, and I got 9 equals 9. I don't know if I did it wrong.
9 equals to 9. Let's see. Wait, we add this over to the other side. So that gives you a -3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we got 8 plus 1 to the 1/2. So that would be 9 to the, oh, I see why you got 9 equals to 9. Right here, we have to actually do the square root of 9. And remember, when we do the square root of 9, that's 3. And 3 cannot equal to -3. So we can't, like, if you're verifying, we can't square both sides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because it was like this. We can't have a square root equal to a negative. That's why it's no solution. Did you get my answers for 2 and 3 though?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And then number 5 and 6. Number 5, it's a pretty long answer. So if you substitute, you should have this. 29,500. Okay, and then we subtract 1 on both sides. So we get negative 0.93 equals to negative cube root of v over 29,500. And then the negative goes away. Now we cube both sides. And you multiply your 29,000. Did you get this as your answer?
I hadn't done it yet.
Oh, you haven't done it yet? Okay. So you haven't done number 6 yet either, huh?
I haven't looked at it yet. I was
Okay.
following this weirdly.
Do you want me to give you the answer? So maybe later you can double check it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the answer. Is it in dollar sign? Oh yeah, it is in dollar sign.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Okay, I have someone that had questions with the half-life still, so I'm just gonna finish going over like maybe 1 or 2 more questions. Let's look at number 2. I'm gonna erase this part so I have more room. Okay, if you feel like you got the hang of it, feel free to go, okay? If you wanna stay, you can look at this question too. So initial, remember we like to do initial in like a green color. So my initial in this case, like how much bacteria is in there right now would be 800. That's my starting amount. And then we're always gonna take half, half, half. So we went from 800 to 400, 400 to 200. But how long does it take to get to that point? How many hours does it take to get to half of it? It would be not 2, it went from 0 to 5. So that part right there is half-life. The last question, it was 2 because it went from 0 to 2. But this one is like 0 to 5. So that's why half-life would be 5. Okay, like the next question, if I look at this, 0 to 14, then half-life would be 14. Okay, this would be 5. Okay, so to finish writing the full formula, it would be A of T equals to 800 times half to the T over 5. And then you just need to put your 100 into the T. We'll put 100 into the T and finish writing the rest of these. Okay, so again, this division right here tells us what cycle it is on. So 100, why is it 100? Oh, because it's right here. Because that's the question that they're asking us to put in. So I put 100 into my T, divide by 5, and that would be, oh sorry, it's not in hours, it's in minutes. So it's 5 minutes. So 100 divided by 5 is 20? Yeah. So whatever this is, that's what cycle it is on. So 20, and then you put that whole thing in your calculator, and I don't think you have a problem with that. I don't have the answer to this yet, so you try to figure that one out.